Drawing. It's my favorite hobby, and I love it. It always makes me feel better. Whenever I have a bad day, I just sit down and draw my frustrations out onto paper. I was riding my bike home from school when I suddenly fell off my bike and hit the ground hard. I looked up to see Finn Barker grinning at me. He walked over and picked me up by the front of my shirt with a smirk. "Hey, Zach," he says. I could smell his breath. It smells like rotten fish. "Hi there," I say, forcing a nervous smile on my face. He throws me down. "You almost ran me over with your bike," he exclaims, crossing his arms while looking down at me with a frown. I mutter an apology, but that doesn't seem to satisfy him. He grabs my bike and throws it into the street. A few seconds later, a truck passes by and runs over it. I gasped and stood up, looking at my now ruined bike, as Finn laughed. I ran off to my house, slamming the door shut before locking myself up in my room. I put my head down on my drawing desk. Just then, I looked up to see a pen lying on my desk. It didn't look familiar, but I took it anyway and grabbed a sheet of paper from my backpack. I began drawing a picture of a bike, already missing my old one. The pen was surprisingly smooth, and it didn't seem to smear at all, which was amazing. After a few hours, the door opens and my mom walks in. "Honey, it's 10 at night. Go to sleep. You have school tomorrow," she tells me sternly. "Okay. Mom, did you buy me this pen?" I asked, holding up the pen I had used earlier. She smiled and nodded before exiting my room. I thanked her as she walked out. Then I stood up and flopped onto my bed, quickly falling asleep. I woke up the next morning, already running late. "Damn it," I mentally cursed as I jumped out of bed and quickly got ready for school. I ran out of the house once I was ready, but suddenly stopped as I gasped in shock. There was a yellow bike standing on my front porch, and it looked exactly like my old bike. Remembering I'm running late, I just push my shock aside and hop on it, quickly pedaling to school. After a few minutes, I arrived and quickly made my way to class. I entered and slumped on my desk, happy I wasn't tardy. I decided to draw with my new pen to kill time. Suddenly, my friend Jimmy comes up to me. "Dude, guess what I just found out this morning?" he asks me, grinning mischievously. "What?" I ask him curiously. "I found out that Finn is scared of clowns." "Cool, right? We can prank him on Halloween night," he says with a smirk. I looked over at Finn, who was talking with a guy. "So, he's afraid of clowns, huh?" "I have an idea," I say with a smirk as I grab my new pen. I rip a sheet of paper out of my notebook and begin drawing a picture of a clown. "Here, give it to him," I told him. Jimmy nods, taking the drawing of the clown, and he ran off to Finn. He hands him the folded picture of the clown and runs back over to me. I see Finn just shove the paper in his pocket, not even bothering to check what was on it as he continued talking. "There," Jimmy says, smiling innocently. I high-five him and we both laugh. After school, Finn gets to his house, slamming the door behind him. "Hey, Dad, I'm home, old man," he yells as he closes the curtains of the living room window. It was dark outside. Finn curses and walks up to his room, throwing his backpack on the ground. He sits on his bed and turns on the TV, setting the volume very loud. He shoves his hands in his pockets and feels something. He suddenly remembers the sheet of paper Jimmy handed him in class today. He takes the folded paper out of his pocket. "I swear, the kid's gonna die tomorrow if it's a stupid note," he thinks bitterly as he unfolds the paper. His eyes widen in fear as he quickly crumples the paper and throws it across the room. Suddenly, the closet door moves. He turns the volume down and looks at the door. He shakes his head. "It's probably my stupid cat," he mumbles, trying to calm himself down. It happens again, and he stands up and walks over to the closet. "Stupid cat!" He grabs the doorknob and yanks the door open, getting ready to scold his cat. Instead, his eyes widened in fear. Standing there was a clown with tattered clothes and razor-sharp-looking teeth. "Hey, buddy, what's shaking?" The clown asks with a sick smile before cackling out loud like a maniac. Finn backs up and falls on his bed, frozen with fear. "Get away from me!" Finn yells, scared out of his wits. "Oh, come on, kiddo! Want a pie?" the clown asks, holding up a pie that seemed to be the bad type of red. Finn screams, curling up in his bed, as the clown closes in on him. Meanwhile, at Zach's house. "And done. Voila!" Zach exclaims to no one in particular as he holds up a sheet of paper, smiling triumphantly. The paper contains a drawing of a creepy clown with tattered clothing and sharp teeth hiding in Finn's closet. The drawing shows Finn curled up on his bed, an expression of pure terror frozen on his face. "Man, I can't wait to see the look on Finn's face tomorrow when he sees this drawing on his desk," Zach says, putting the drawing away in his backpack. If he only knew Finn was no longer going to be a bother at school tomorrow, or for the rest of Zach's life.